Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to Mentor Mornings. So, do people think you're weird? Um, like when everybody says, "Hey, we either have to go left or we have to go right," are you the one that's saying, "Hey, there's this middle path," or "We can go up there or cut across diagonally"? Or when everyone is focused on the color gold, are you saying, "Check out that rainbow, it's beautiful"? Are you that person? Welcome to Mentor Mornings, guys, where I share wisdom from people far wiser than myself to help you own your day and fuel your journey. And if you appreciate this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Maybe hit the subscribe button if you aren't already so you can get more videos like this, and share if you feel moved to. So, a common trait of Stoic philosophers was their inability to accept corruption. And many of them paid the ultimate price for that. Like they were put to death or they were exiled. And we read countless stories of these guys who voiced their opposition or tried to change what was in corruption and tyranny and had to pay that ultimate price. And there was this dude named Paconius Agrippinus, and he was actually exiled by Nero in about 67 BC, somewhere around there in the early 60s. And Paconius Agrippinus said, "Because you regard yourself as but a single thread of all that go up to make a garment, what follows then? This, that you ought to take thought how you may resemble all other men, precisely as even the single thread wants to have no point of superiority in comparison with the other threads." Hey Jerry, it's good to see you on here. So what he's saying there is that most of us just want to blend in, have no superiority over other threads, and to be a part of that, and that's beautiful. He says, "But I want to be the red, that small and brilliant portion which causes the rest to appear comely and beautiful. Why then do you say to me, be like the majority of people? And if I do that, how shall I any longer be the red?" It's really interesting. It's a beautiful way to put it. You know, polarization comes in a lot of different forms today. And if we move against or stand in the face of popular opinion, there's like that really strong force of the majority poll. And if you can think about it, you could imagine that the Stoic philosopher, the person who stands in the face of popular opinion or stands in the face of something like that, a rock in the ocean that doesn't move because of the swell or the raising of the tide or rough waters. And that's how Stoic philosophers looked at themselves, is to stand, live a principled life like that. And living that principled life means that our principles will be challenged and they'll be tested. And at that point, what is it that a person will do? Will they stand with their principles, or will they start to move principles? And that's where they talk about, Epictetus talked about like having a ruler to measure ourselves by. Who is it? How do we know that we are living at the extent or the capacity of our character, and we can measure ourselves against people who came before us, who stood in those same places? And this guy, Paconius Agrippinus, he is a ruler that we can stand ourselves by. So Epictetus said that if a person wants to improve or achieve wisdom, that we must be willing to look foolish. And that's the truth, because when you stand outside that realm, like you do oftentimes face the possibility of being wrong, or just being different. And so that comes a part of it. So conformity today, it's expected and it's also applauded. And it's not just today, it goes back into antiquity. This is something that has always been there, conform to the group. And if you stand outside or different than the group, you expose yourself. You become somebody who is, you are noticed. And when you're at that place, that's when, I can't remember the exact quote, but I know it's kind of a Norwegian thing. They said basically like, don't be I can't remember exactly, I'm probably wrong. Don't be like the tallest flower in the field, because you're the one that's gonna get picked. So like when you go back, you think about like Joan of Arc, Seneca, Thracia, Mel Gibson and Braveheart. Like these are all people who paid the ultimate price, for not conforming, for standing out, for being the red thread. And so the choice remains with us. It's, do we choose to blend in and to feel accepted by society, to feel to feel safe, and we're not standing in the path of the boot or the blade of tyranny. But if you think about it, legends aren't wrote about the people who conform. legends are wrote about the people who stand to oppose. So, be the red thread, my friends. I will see you tomorrow. Rise unconquered.